we talked before, and you mentioned briefly about how you weren't even expecting to go over when they went to Montreal, and Hogan had a discussion with you. What did he say?
You know what? I was just happy that Hulk wanted to work with me.
Yeah.
That was the greatest thing for me. But like I was saying, if we really try to get down to the nitty gritty of this, I don't have the answers because it seemed like timing. He had just left WWF. They were fighting the two big WCW, WWF. There was a lot of animosity between a lot of people. And like I told you in a previous interview a long time ago, in WCW, there was too many chiefs and not enough Indians. And there was too many people calling the shots and not people doing it. So Bischoff, I met Bischoff a couple of times. I worked, of course, for him. I didn't hit it off at all with him. He had such an arrogant way of speaking to the boys. He looked at us like we were really dirt. And I assumed that if he did it to me, he may have done it to Hulk at one point or another. But there had to be some animosity because Bischoff not liking me, and Hulk saying, well, I'm going to go to Montreal and I'm going to put Jacques over in his hometown. There had to be some animosity. He just didn't do this because I'm a great guy. So there had to be another something that I haven't put my finger on yet.
I know that Bischoff and Hogan are really good friends. I'm friends.
Are they now? Are they
they're really good friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to see that. Well, maybe if you are close friends with him, you ought to ask him. Say, hey, Jacques really wants to know.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah. So you had a conversation with Hulk because you were talking about before how you were kind of just, there for the ride and asking Hulk what we want to do, and he kind of turned it over and said, what are we going to do?
We're in the dressing room and in front of all the boys, like I was saying, and then I look at Hulk, and then Hulk just looks at me in front of all the boys, and he says, "Well, what are we doing, boss?" It wasn't the same boss as Andre, but that's what he said. He says, "What are we doing, boss?" And I started laughing so hard out of my nerves and everything, and like a child. And I turned around, I look at him, he says, "It's your show." He says, "What are we doing?" And I said, "Well, whatever you want to do, Hulk, that's what we're doing." He says, "Well, you're going over." And in front of all the boys. And I actually felt uncomfortable because Flair was there. A lot of big guns were there. It was a big crowd, a big card. And this was amazing. But anyway, I laughed at the time. And then when I realized that Hulk was serious, I just listened to every word. I didn't want to say one word that would change his mind. So it was like, whatever you say, Hulk, I'm all ears. So whatever you want to do. And you know what was the most amazing of that match? And people don't know the story, but I'm going to tell you a great story just to tell you how much Hulk was over. When I booked that show in Montreal, I called it the Match of the Legends. The Quebec legend, like he from my home little town, and the world legend. I had no idea when I booked that in my hometown how much Hulk was over. And there was, anyway, long story short, it was like there was 99% of the people that were booing me when I went in the ring at the beginning of the match.
Yeah.
And they cheered him. But that's not the best part. Here's the best part. The match is over. I just pinned Hulk Hogan. 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. Fans are mad. If you go see that tape, I was just looking at it before, the tape that I sent you. You'll see at the end there's a guy who wants to slap me in the back of the head. He's on the outside. Go check that out. That's funny. I realized, and I had a lot of those guys, but let me tell you the story. That's awesome. So we get in the dressing room, we talk it out and everything, and okay, it's the end. The show's over. It's been about 45 minutes. I'm patching up my face. It was a rough one, and it was a stiff match. And so anyway, I get into the garage, and I'm where the Montreal Canadiens, the hockey team, parks underneath the Molson Center. So we're coming out of the garage, and there's a big giant door that opens, and then there's about 5,000 fans that are there. And they're all screaming, "Hogan, Hogan, Hogan." Now, I'm coming out of the garage door, so here's how it happens. I have my wife beside me in the car. We're coming out, and as the door opens, people are right there, like right in front. And I'm advancing with my car, but they're not moving. So and people are banging on the hood of my car. Some people, they must have recognized me through the window and something. So they're banging hard on my window, on my car, on my hood. So I'm going like, the hell with this. And so I start moving forward with my car, and I'm coming, and I'm pushing. I'm getting out of here. I didn't feel very secure, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And that's a sort of truth there. I was afraid for my wife and for me. And because fans, after an evening of beer and having fun, you never know where it could go. Yeah. So anyway, so long story short is I'm pushing, and out of nowhere, I've done about maybe 20 feet, 25 feet. And I look behind me, and the garage door is closing. And it's like I had this claustrophobic feeling, like I'm surrounded by everybody. The door just shut behind me. I can't go back. And when that door shut, I looked at my wife beside me, and I told her, I said, lock the door. And she didn't know what I was talking about. And I opened my door, and I pushed my door into the fans. And as soon as I got my hand out, everybody's screaming, Hogan, Hogan. I just went really fast with my hand, and I grabbed the guy's piece of paper, and I looked at him right in the eyes, and I pulled it back real fast. And he looked at me, and then I took a pen, but I never left my eyes off that guy I took his paper from. And I took a pen right beside him like this, and I signed the autograph. He didn't want no autograph of me, and I signed an autograph. And I swear to God, I signed this, and then I was, how can I say that, PG? I was in my pants. I was crapping in my pants. I was standing up there playing a man's game, and I was really afraid. And then another guy came with a paper, and then another one came, and about, I would say, 3 minutes later, the whole fans were still Rougeau, Rougeau, Rougeau. Oh, wow. And then they moved, and they let me pass. And that was one of the greatest moments in wrestling that no one will ever know. Wow. Because it happened there in the parking where I thought I'd leave my life, in my car in the parking lot. But I just, and so many times, Chris, in my life that I swear to God, I can't remember them all in 42 years, that I played poker face. I was in positions in situations where the danger was there or something happened. And I'd act like I was tough, or act like but I wasn't inside, but you talk about a feeling, but then you talk about the feeling that when I left and people are screaming my name, I changed their votes, if you like, a little bit like Biden and Trump. No, but anyway, I switched that around, and but that was great. That was great.
So the